What's going on? Welcome to something new. I'm your host, Gamal. This is the One Man's Walk podcast, and right now you're checking out a short. So what I'm doing is giving you a breakout of a small portion within a larger episode. If you like what you see in this small section that's been broken out, then feel free to check out the full link below so you can see the full episode. Hopefully you enjoy it and it makes you want to go check out the full episode.
We're going to skip over Rich Spirit. It's fire too, but we're going to, for the sake of time, we're going to get to this We Cry Together because I don't know how long I can spend on this one. This one is... Let's bring it up, so.
I ain't so nor dissy. I know when you being distant. I know when you fake busy. Get out your feelings and miss me with that reverse psychology.
You tripping? Who got you that rolling chain?
And who put that car in my name?
But you think I'ma kiss you?
Not you lame.
You know what?
So, this one, it's a super toxic relationship, but at the same time, sometimes in hurt and in anger and in frustration, while yes, we say things to be extremely hurtful to other people, to the person we're trying to spew it at, guys do it, girls do it. Don't be like, I'm not here to say, hey, girls don't do it, guys don't do it. We both do it. We say it out of hurt. We say it out of anger. We say it out of frustration. We say it to be hurtful. We say it to be mean. We say it because we're hurting. We've been hurt and we want you to feel the hurt the way I felt it. Right? All true. There are still things that are being said by her about him that are reflective of, can be reflective of men. I can say for myself in some ways that I'm like, yeah, gotta own it. And there were some things, as I was thinking about this, even going with my wife, about some of the things that we go through where I'm like, yep, that's her. When Kendrick was talking about some of the things with females, and I said, yep, that's it. It's a amazing record. There was so much in this song. When let's bring it up a little bit, or let me bring it back slightly.
Yo, you must be breathing in some more. I don't know your feelings.
You want some? See, I don't know why you like.
So one of the first things she talks about is you sleep with another girl and then you mess up my stuff. Meaning like you stepped out on a relationship and then brought in some of the craziness into the relationship and then are mad with some of the craziness that happens in the relationship. Right? Yes. Let's bring it up.
I know when you being distant. I know when you fake busy. Get out your feelings and miss me with that.
I know when you're being distant. I know when you fake busy. I know when you in your feelings, like, you know what I mean? Like you trying to act like you ain't got time for me. You moody, all these things. I can be like that for real. You know what I'm saying? Like being honest. Kristen and I have been through all of the stuff, from the cheating when we were dating, like everything. We've been through it all. And so here we are 15 plus years together, still having to deal with some things, but 15 plus years later. And so but some of the emotional baggage that comes in this song, let me speed up, because no matter where you put it in this song, is nuts.
Got you island for nothing.
I do the same when we
Act like that ain't loose.
I'd rather act like
I'd rather off the juice.
So here they're throwing insults at one another about sex and how they feel about one another in the act, and how they're both lying to each other about the intimacy, the level of intimacy, what they want out of the intimacy, how they go about getting the intimacy. Essentially, like, you take out the cursing, and obviously I always play the version without the cursing, kind of cursing in real life. And so some of this is definitely bleeped out a lot, right? But it doesn't take away from what the root of what it is that's being said. You know what I mean? And that's the key point that I'm trying to make sure we get out of this.
When I held you down,
you just cut me down. That's a big difference. Stressing myself trying to figure why I'm not good.
He said, I held you down. She said, no, you kept me down. That's a big difference. Trying to figure out to myself why I'm not good enough. You know, that's something I know women will say. Definitely in our relationship, Kristen has said that before. I don't feel like I'm good enough. I don't feel like I can meet up to the standard or meet up to previous people or whatever the case may be. Just being honest. Since Kendrick felt like he'd be honest on here, we just talking. You know what I mean? Like, and then here's Kendrick.
Church praying for you, searching for good in us.
And so here they get into it looks like they both cheated, right? They both, for whatever the reason, they doesn't really get into why or the behind the root, but it looks like at one point both of them had done that. You see what I'm saying? And so it's hurt people. It's what happens.
Not about come for you.
You dirty and you broke.
You goofy and gunner.
The insecurities you got won't mind me. Womanizer got no affection from your mama, I see.
Don't speak on my mama. It's your problem.
That don't like me anyway.
She gave you the Honda.
And use that to throw it in my face.
Then we get into the family issues and the family dynamics. I tell people all the time, you think you're marrying the individual you're with or you're dating the individual you're with. You're not. You're dating the family. What I mean by that is you are marrying into, it's hard to tell the person you're with, hey, look, I don't really rock with your mom. I don't rock with your dad. I don't rock with your brother, your sister, so on and so forth. I don't rock with your cousin, your auntie, whoever you want to throw in there. That's their family. It's who they love, it's who they've known, it's who they've grown up with. And more than likely, there is some level of influence that the family holds in which the individual you're dating, whether you're the girl dating the guy or the guy dating the girl, like there is a level of influence with the family. And sometimes the dynamic is you don't always get along. And sometimes the other person doesn't get along. Like he's like, look, don't bring up my mother. Right? Because she tries to say, hey, some of the issues you have while you're womanizing is you weren't loved by your mother, which can be true, right? But then he's like, look, no, bring up my mother. And he was like, she was like, she don't like me. And he was like, what you mean she don't like you? She gave you a car. And he was like, yeah. And she's like, yeah. And she uses it to throw it in my face every chance she gets. So like, if she does that, did she really do it out the goodness of her heart? You know what I'm saying? Like if she has to throw it back that she's doing this or doing that, you don't want that. I don't want that. Would you want that? You know what I mean? So like the relationship aspect of this is so nuts. This is such a good record. Obviously, it's, if you're listening to the explicit version, don't play it around the kids. But this is such a good, thorough, really deep, the influctuation in her voice and his voice as they say certain words and certain lines and certain phrases, like it's so spot on. This is nuts, man.
You the reason we overlooked, underpaid, underbooked, understated. If you look, I don't speak, then I'll call on my name.
That'd be true though. Like as a New York thing, I'll be honest with you, I've seen it many times. I'm not really into that. But like you try to talk to a girl, hey, ma, sweetie, cutie, hi hun, hi, I'm so and so. Can I talk with you? Can I talk with you? Can I talk with you? A girl walked down the block, she probably heard it like 12 times. By like 12 different dudes. But then you don't speak. And then he was like, well, F you then, B. Like, I didn't want you no way. Or you trash anyway. You stuck up. And he's like, what? You just wanted me like a couple seconds ago. That part is true. Guys, we gotta stop doing that. Like, stop doing that. Stop doing that.
You're the reason R. Kelly can't recognize that he's abusive.
Shut the fuck up. We all know you still playing this music. I'm tired of these emotional, ungrateful, fake innocent, fake feminists. Stop pretending y'all sentiments ain't realer than what you defended.
But then he gets into it too. Women playing the fake victim, fake innocent, right? Because Joe Budden has this line. He says, women will provoke you, then get mad when it works. Which is a nuts line. It's true. Right? Like he says, women will provoke you, then get mad when it works. Like you test my patience, you test this, you test that. And then I'm like, you know what? I don't want to deal with you no more. I'm out. I'm gone. I'm going to go do something else. I just need peace. We're not getting into the whole abusive side or none of that type of food because I don't support none of that. But just where you're just like, you know what? I'm so fed up. I'm just going to go do me. And then we're like, what? Why would you do that? Well, you added to that. You brought it on. You egged it on until it happened. And then when it happened, you're like, how did it happen? The whole fake innocent, fake victim. And I tell people all the time, my grandma tells me this. It takes two people to make a relationship not work. Not one. Please stop going around saying, man, I did everything and he didn't do anything. That's a lie. If you go back and you look, what was he saying to you and asking you to do constantly saying that you weren't doing, that you were either unwilling to do, didn't want to do, whatever the case may be. What was I'm not just talking sexual stuff, but just anything of what, because everybody's different, but what the guy you're with, what was he asking and trying to beg of you to do, to work with him on, to help him with, to whatever, to build with, that you were unwilling to do. And so then when you turn around and you see that he's with someone else, how can you be mad? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird dynamic. So that's why I said Kendrick called it out too, because that's what happens.
Decision, bros like you and real victims. Let's talk the truth. Women in general just can't get along. When Tosh got a man, you didn't pick up the phone. When they got a job, you said you stay at home. While R&B don't feature on each other's songs.
What is you talking about?
Never mind, I'm walking out.
Whatever. I'm off you
Your
now.
people kept me well endowed.
Best one.
This is such a good song. We're going to move on. Been here too long. I probably may try to break this up and give these in songs first before I even do the full album, because this is just too much. I'm just going to break it up into sections for people. Let's move it up. This is definitely, outside of that one, it's probably one of my favorite records. This might be my favorite record on the CD. This record right here is nuts. This Purple Heart, turn the beat on. This was Summer Walker and Ghostface. This is... Woo. Oh, I do want to say that last record that we cry together, it sounded like a Griselda beat. When I first heard it without knowing anything, I was listening to it in the gym before I knew anything about the lyrics or anything. I was like, oh, Griselda? We got Benny making an appearance on the CD. I thought for sure we would get in that. But let's go ahead. Let's get into this Purple Hearts.
I do want to say, so this is new, but this is the outro. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. I thank you guys for sticking out to the end of the video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Stick around for some of the other content that you see up right now. As always, I hope you guys have a wonderful, blessed, productive, stress-free day. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Turn on your post bell notifications so that way you don't miss any of this amazing content. Share.